Hello, I'm Graceful Dragon and welcome to this recreation of the Cotswold Wildlife Park, but with dinosaurs instead of animals. There's a map of the real park, which is in Oxfordshire, England. Here's a quick aerial view of the park before we begin. Right opposite the entrance to the main park there is a little caravan park that I wanted to include using the facility buildings to create the impression of a little caravan park. The park has a long road to drive down before you actually get to the park. There are oryx on the left here, Parasaurolophus, and ostrich on the right, which are Gallimimus here. Before I could start this build I had to write down all the species that were at the zoo and all the dinosaur species I wanted to replace them with, along with the skin that I needed for them too, using the species viewer. We're coming up to the ticket booths here, which you queue in your car to buy your ticket before you come round to the car park. You either go right into the main car park if there's space, or if that's full they send you to the left round into the overflow car park on the field. Here is where they have the gift shop and the kiosk where you can get an ice cream or hot drink before coming round the corner and into the walled garden where they have a collection of small animals and aviaries. Here I have some homalocephali instead of the penguins, and the aviary over there has Sungorypterus in it instead of the toucans. There are many other aviaries and small enclosures in the gardens, but aren't possible to include in the game. We're arriving at the entrance to the Tropical House walk-through enclosure, which includes sloths, fruit bats and birds. Here we've got Gehalopterus and Minmi. There is the meerkat enclosure represented by Compsognathus. Over there is Scarlet ibis represented by Oviraptor, and on the left, prairie dogs represented by Lystrosaurus. And those are sea otters replaced with Coelophysis. And this is the ring-tailed lemur walk-through exhibit, which I've replaced with some black and white Sinosauropteryx. There are a lot of grassy areas at the zoo, which is something I wouldn't normally include in a park build. I like to fill the gaps, but I do think it does look nice having things spaced out with large grassy areas in between. That's the cafe and picnic area. Moving on to the children's adventure playground with zip lines, a cage for a climbing frame and a large tent as a playhouse. Up here is where they have the Wolverine habitat, which I've replaced with Dimetrodon. Heading towards the family farmyard area now, where they have a large barn filled with guinea pigs, rabbits, chickens, etc., which I filled with goats here. Unfortunately I can't put a roof on it though. And then they have donkeys, cattle, pigs, which I've replaced with Myosaura, Nasutoceratops and Hydrocephalus. This is the giraffe paddock, which had to be Brachiosaurus. Obviously I've had to make many of the paddocks a lot bigger than what they are at the zoo to increase the scale for the dinosaurs. Here's the lion paddock replaced with Acrocanthosaurus. And those Dinochirus over there are filling in for the camels. There's an Australovenator replacing the clouded leopard. And some giant Spinosaurus instead of elephants. Also got the fossil zone there in place of their mini Africa building. At the zoo they like to use natural ditches with wire electric fencing to act as a barrier between you and the animals, which I tried to replicate with the invisible fencing. Here's the Sinoceratops instead of the rhinos. Coming down now to the red panda habitat represented with some red Triosaurus, very cute. and into the very smelly rhino house, so I had to put a big pile of dung in there. This is the entrance to the no dog zone, which I'm not that familiar with since I always have my dog with me, but they do have a large lake in there with an island in, so I've put some Nophosaurus there. There's a paddock with some warty pigs, and there are some free roaming flamingos in there, so I've used Archaeophyllus with some goofy skins. And then you walk onto a kind of raised walkway which goes along the edge of the wolf paddock, here with some Utaranus instead. Exploiting the handy monorail glitch, one of my favourites. I decided to add a lagoon up here because why can't I? And then we walk into the tapir habitat here with Nigersaurus instead. I hope you enjoyed this little zoo spot. It's a bit different to a park build. Thanks for watching!